he gave us a little bit more insight into what happened. And here's what he says. Here are the counts that Judge Whitaker has a directed verdict of acquittal against Kendrick, which include counts 59, 60, and 62. And I've actually got the indictment pulled up here. So we're going to go 59, 60, and 62. Let's see what those are real quick. So we're going to go 59, and I don't know why this stops at 59. He's got them in here. So let's go with this. Let's do it this way. Count 59. And the grand jury aforesaid in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia do charge and accuse Martinez Arnold, aka Duke, Diamante Kendrick, Yak Gotti, Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug. We know he got off on that one, so we don't have to worry about count 59 for Thug, with the offense of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, to wit, possession of codeine with intent to distribute. So he got off on the drug charges. All right, so no drugs there. We're good to go. For said accused, the state of Georgia and the Fulton County on the 9th day of May 2022 did unlawfully possess and control codeine with the intent to distribute contrary to the laws of said state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. Which makes sense because they couldn't even prove that Yak Gotti was near or around those drugs. And he didn't have possession of any of them either. So good job on that one. We've also got count 60, excuse me. And this is the jurors aforesaid in the name and on behalf of the citizens of Georgia do charge and accuse Martinez Arnold, Duke, Yak Gotti, and Young Thug, which we know Young Thug is where he's at. So is Duke, with the offense of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Kind of the same thing, possession of cocaine. So no drugs for Yak Gotti, which is dope. 62. What do we have? The offense of possession of a machine gun, which again can't be proven because Yak Gotti wasn't even in the house. So I don't know. We had Detective Big Burrito, or Detective Investigator Super Stalker Viverito was in there. We also had the other investigators with the missing watch. We don't know what's going on there. This whole situation was really weird, but as we know, they couldn't really prove that he was in possession of that. So good job to Judge Whitaker for seeing that through. Also, Judge Whitaker partially granted directed verdict on 2 counts against Shannon Stillwell, as we know, 52 and 64, and 1 count against Diamante Kendrick, aka Yak Gotti, as well. So count 52 we already went through, and then we had, let's see, 64 was possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, previously convicted of a felony involving the use of possession of a firearm. Now, with these being partial, it's going to be interesting to see how they decide or what they decide to go with there. Judge Whitaker is going to go over and review some more of that today as we go through the jury charges. See what Judge Whitaker is talking about.
All right. While we were on the break, I think Ms. Pursfield caught a couple more charges that need to get included that were, I think, maybe
Thank y'all.
Drug charges as well. So we'll get those included. And then we will send out to everyone to take yet another look at these jury charges, including all the Rico we just did, the overt act crimes that we are just now including.
Thank you, Shadow Seeker.
And then hopefully everything edited correctly as to the rest of the charges. I think when we define the crimes that are just overt acts, they're not counts, that we need to set that off somehow. And I'll just kind of say, hey, you're going to. Oh,
also the sound should be fixed, by the way. Can y'all hear? Is the sound better? Let me know. It shouldn't be on one side anymore. I tried to see if I could get away around this sound being weird, but let me know if the sound is good.
Get a list of alleged overt acts. And some of them are crimes. So I'm giving you the definition of those as well. Something like that.
I think that makes
awesome.
sense.
Okay. All right, so I know the state has provided a jury form that they're going to try to further tailor now that we have a better concept of how we're charging. And I know that was tedious to get through, but I think it was very important that we did it. And it kind of took everybody thinking it through to get to there. So I appreciate that from everybody.
Yeah.
And whatever y'all come up with in the way of proposed verdict forms, just forward to Ms. Pursfield. We'll look at all of that. I know y'all need to know when we're going to start the closings. The only things we need, and y'all still need to put those stipulations together.
And it's expected that closings are going to start tomorrow and then hopefully finish up by Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we'll see what happens with the jury. Wouldn't it be something if the jury came back with the decision before Thanksgiving? That would be wild. Appreciate you, Co.
Just pointed out that there are certain overt acts that are alleged to also be an act of, a gang act violation. And we've defined those overt act crimes, and we have sort of defined what a gang act violation is, but when we did that, we only did it with regard to the crimes that were substantive counts of the indictment charges.
Oh, and also Sharice Washington asked a great question. She said, did the defense have witnesses? They did, but they decided not to call them, which I thought was interesting as well. But I think their points were well taken. And even with the third car, Max brought it up multiple times. He pressured Big Burrito about it. And we know it's going to be mentioned during closing too, especially since Shannon Stillwell didn't receive a directed verdict in that indictment, and that part of the indictment.
There may be there's like an aggravated assault or something like that and other things. So
there's an attempted murder, there's a conspiracy for murder.
So we're going to need to
sales.
I think to keep it clean, instead of trying to
still keep it separate.
Yeah, I think maybe we just
Okay.
the same thing except criminal gang activity. However, we have
For purposes of this, the overt acts includes, okay.
Do you have to do them? And I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out because the catch-all says any act of violence, drugs, it lists like the categories. So I mean, an aggravated assault is clearly a violent crime. It's just a suggestion to make it less wordy, but
I agree with Mr. Abadi.
Okay.
I think I do actually, Mr. Abadi. I think that when we're defining, I don't understand the need. I wasn't going to die on that hill, but I don't understand the need to specifically say
These things
our
equate
criminal
to.
gang activity, and that applies to when we defined it earlier and now. I think we can just the problem is the definition of criminal gang activity in statute is very long, and then it has the catch-all, and then it becomes
Yeah.
and then you're making references to different statutes as well. Like certainly I understand the crime of violence, but then there's the catch-all, and then we would have to reference the Rico statute.
Mm-hmm. And that just gets to be a nightmare. Yeah.
And then you're making references to different statutes as well. Like certainly I understand the crime of violence, but then there's the catch-all, and then we would have to reference the Rico statute.
Mm-hmm. And that just gets to be a nightmare. And so when we are doing it for the overt acts, what are y'all saying? Or what are y'all saying that y'all agree to?
I I liked what Mr. Abate said, but I also think it's gonna get cumbersome if we expect it.
I agree, Right Street.
Parse through everything, but, so I would just do it the same way we did it in the first part, and just say aggravated, what is it, aggravated battery? Aggravated assault, would constitute, if proven, would constitute criminal gang activity.
That goes on first degree.
Yeah.
And where do you want that?
Well, I think if we cut and paste from the
Yeah.
first part,
Y'all think they're gonna be done by Thanksgiving? Wow.
gang act, okay? And we put everything, we copied it and pasted it here as well for the charges for the overt acts, except when we have that little explanation of criminal gang activity, instead of putting murder and those other, we just put aggravated assault.
Can I make another suggestion? Your Honor, is your intention to charge on the overt act crimes first or second? Because my thought is, if
Wow.
we were going to charge on the counts first, you can maybe say criminal gang activity as previously defined, and then just put that last paragraph versus restating the entire charge.
That's
just
true,
say
Shadow
criminal
Seeker.
gang activity also includes this, and this, so that we don't have to say it twice. That may or may not be simpler, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think sorry, I'm interjecting, but I think the issue with that is the overt acts have to be with the Rico charges. Or we say something,
Yeah, I mean,
it could be later, but it has to be clear that these are related to, I mean, because the overt act is meant.
Audio should be good. Let me
Needs to get restructured, or we somehow refer.
Y'all were
back
saying
to
it was good. It should be good.
Using if the overt acts are listed way after, totally away from all the Rico.
Maybe charges for overt acts and parentheses as alleged in count one.
Or if you're doing the overt acts first, you don't have to repeat it the second time
I
when we're
kind of
talking
went
about the
thinking
charge.
about doing the overt acts first.
I think my ultimate point was, I don't think we need
Yeah.
to repeat it twice. We can,
Right.
whichever time we do it, just refer back to.
All right, the gang counts against Mr. Kendrick and Stillwell are 50, 51, and 57, right? So what I could say is, after we define it, for purposes of counts 50, 51, and 57, murder, blah, blah, blah. Murder, possession of marijuana, intent to distribute, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony constitute criminal gang activity. And then wherever we're doing it for the overt acts, say, for purposes of the overt acts,
okay.
whatever they are,
Sounds
constitutes
good.
criminal gang activity. Would that make sense?
Ms. Love is 5.
Okay.
One of the overt acts is section D of the criminal gang charges. That would be number 182, unless that is out.
And that's Ms. Persifield that's
Maybe
talking.
it's out.
I think that's the leadership. It's out, yay.
Is it out? I doubt it. Oh, excellent, okay.
They
I
tie,
just
boss.
mean excellent in that it's one less thing we have to deal with.
We said it too.
Okay. All right. Good catch, though, Ms. Persifield. So,
This is John Floyd. He's the Rico expert.
thoughts as to whether
For those of you
I
who are wondering.
do the overt acts in the context of the gang, of the Rico count, or whether I just walk through, here are the definitions, here's how you prove the substantive
I got a
crimes.
better question.
The counts in this indictment alleged against these defendants. And then after that, hey, there are also some crimes that are within the overt acts, crimes alleged within the overt acts. Here's how those are defined.
Maybe some sort of transition, like as you see in the indictment, or as you will see in the indictment, count one, Rico refers to
Yes, she's still employed.
specific overt acts, some of which are, are alleged crimes. And then I'm providing these definitions in regards to the overt acts list or something like that.
So the question was, any preference as to whether that's done right after I explain Rico or after I explain all of the substantive count crimes?
He said Miss Love's working at Jiffy Lube. Oh man, don't do that.
Okay.
Miss Love will be just fine.
Okay.
He's not going anywhere.
But would you include these charges in the
I'd have to.
paperwork, or
Things
just
like-
tack them on at the end as an appendix? And then you could say, look, you know,
No, everything I read is going to go out to them.
no, I want it to go out. I'm just wondering if the charges for the overt acts, if you embed it in the middle of the document right after the RICO section, or I think it may be more helpful to help them distinguish these from the acts and the count, is if you say, look in Appendix A,
Right.
and in Appendix A, you'll see how to understand the charges for the overt acts.
It's fine.
Is that okay with you?
Good idea. The state's nodding assent. Okay. Man, look at that.
Look at them working together.
All right, so
Isn't that
Ms.
sweet?
Frishfield, you noticed something else?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Better now.
We don't have.
At least she's doing her job.
Firearm possession, because there's a number of counts that are possession of a firearm by a felon. There's also a couple of counts that are possession of a firearm by a probationer. And then we have the charges against the inmates.
I'm doing that one. The probationer one is the same, is the pattern that you use for possession of
Yes,
firearms.
substitute probation.
So we'll add that, but then there's several possession of a weapon by an inmate, possession of a phone by an inmate.
I'm doing that one right now.
Okay, the conspiracy.
Is that all part of the RICO?
By a
It's
phone by an
crazy.
inmate. And there's, I don't know if it's in or out, but the Ryan video while incarcerated.
Which number?
Is that a
That is
crime?
Act 180. Is that in or out? It's in. Right, okay, so I need something on that.
Well, is that a crime?
I don't know.
We didn't charge it as,
If
we
it's
didn't charge the cell phone that he was using.
Okay, all right, but there are some possession of contraband by inmates.
Yeah. Okay.
Or acts, alleged acts.
So, isn't, for instance, murder is alleged as an overt act, right? If I am defining all of the crimes that are overt acts first, within the context of RICO, I'm just afraid that I don't know what I'm afraid of. It seems worrisome to me, and to some degree, that then that would be where they find the definition of things that they have to substantively consider against these defendants. You know what I'm saying?
Your Honor, my idea was if you use the appendix for crimes not otherwise defined.
Right. I agree with that.
But, okay,
All right, but then the order of it, I just don't think,
Y'all said she love is working at Goodwill. Dang, leave her alone.
I agree with Mr.
Y'all be
Adams.
nice.
I would think that we would do the appendix for the overt acts class.
I agree. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, yeah,
too.
the appendix comes at the end, so
Right, but when
Still working at Chuck E. Cheese.
when we charge it, when I charge it, instead of saying, all right, now I've explained Rico to you, and now I'm going to tell you about the crimes that are overt acts. Here's how each of them is defined. I'm just going to say, I'm going to define those for you. If there are any, I'll just get to it later. And I'll do everything that's a count of the indictment. And then I'll say, you know, whatever I'm going to say. My brain's fried at this point.
yeah,
But
thank you. I'm just a beat
Rico
behind right
refers
now.
to certain overt acts, some of which are crimes. Some of them have already been defined for you. Others haven't. Here's the definition. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, what else?
Miss Love is shaking a bell outside a grocery store right now.
Here,
Dang.
overt acts, this is in the Rico portion.
Doesn't it? I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow. You and I will figure it
So that's what we're going to be working on today. And court they are not in yet. So I will definitely let y'all know as soon as they're there.
out. Are you saying put that language there?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, is if this is in the Rico, I mean, not all of the
Yeah.
language, but a reference to where overt acts would be.
Do y'all
Can't
miss
you
Miss
just
Love?
Put something in there to the effect of see Appendix A for definitions of.
That's the question. Is that
Okay, yeah. An overt act may, but does not have to be a crime in and of itself. That would be the place to say that. Some of the overt acts alleged in this indictment
Are crimes.
are
Are allegedly crimes?
well, some of the acts alleged in this indictment, if proven,
Would be violations,
would be
violations of criminal code or crimes.
criminal violations, would be crimes. If proven, would be crimes.
Yeah.
Are you?
Are you typing this or am I?
I'm not typing. Nobody's typing.
No, she's
this.
not typing anything.
I'll type it. Some of
Come on, Judge Whitaker. Stop being lazy.
acts.
Love is the dungeon master.
Are you both typing into the same document?
We can.
Would be crimes. Some of the overt if proven would be crimes.
That sounds amazing, Rice Street. Good Lord. Y'all don't miss Miss Love? Dang. Somebody's got to miss her over
I'm
here.
just going to highlight that and think about that tomorrow in very Scarlett O'Hara fashion because my brain is not working anymore.
Judge, helps, when you go through the indictment, the way we alleged it, where the overt act is a crime, we've identified the statute of violence. It's very easy. When
Okay.
you look at it, they'll know which ones.
Okay, great. I may even say that.
Of the overt acts,
Those
the subset
have
of those that
a
are
site.
crimes, those are clearly identified in the allegations, and they'll have that document. So they don't have to guess which is which. It'll say is a violation of the statute.
All right, I may just say something like those will have a cite to a criminal code section. Okay, so I'll think about that more and come up with some language. So,
Tomorrow is another day.
yeah, it may be tomorrow before that gets hashed out, but
Indeed.
We are working on a redacted indictment as well.
Okay.
So we'll get that tweaked and get that over to the court and everyone as well.
okay. All right.
Get that tweaked. Interesting.
I think that we need to get together tomorrow and look at all kinds of things again, like hopefully a final jury charge, a jury verdict.
Y'all show Miss
What
Love some
evidence
love.
is going to go out, the redacted indictment, all of those things. Which means that closings,
See what the starts.
which I think are going to take more than a day, don't y'all? I mean, if,
It's possible.
I mean, y'all said, I don't know, it seemed like the time periods y'all gave me. Once you think about the fact that people have to take bathroom breaks, that people have to eat lunch,
I rarely take a bathroom break, Your Honor.
that's 8.5 hours by y'all's estimates.
Judge Whitaker loves taking
without
bathroom
any
breaks.
break. So that is more than a day's worth of closings. So I think that means we start closings on Friday, but we probably don't finish closings until Monday. And then I charge the jury, which I hope, I have no idea how long the charge is going to take, but I would think that the rest of the closing and the charge can be completed Monday. They get the case Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, the end of the day Monday, but I mean, they're not going to do anything in that little amount of time unless I talk really fast while I'm charging. They have a short day on Wednesday. They have a short day on Tuesday also. Oh, wait. This is,
Maybe it won't take
oh,
them very long.
God, they do. These jurors, and I mean, they are trying to live their lives. I can't remember why we have a late start next Tuesday also.
Would you,
Saturday?
John, would you consider, I am very afraid of
Would I
closing on.
consider doing all of this after Thanksgiving?
No, that's not what I'm asking.
No, heck no.
That's what the state has.
And only because, Your Honor,
If we close and they take breaks and say if we don't get a verdict back on Wednesday, you're going home talking over the Thanksgiving dinner and you're doing all of this and you hope that they don't, but you don't know what
Well,
is
I'm
going.
instructing them not to, and whether they have gotten the case or not, they're not supposed to be doing that.
I agree.
And
I agree. But we would.
We agree, but they're people, Judge Whitaker. And who do y'all think this would be worse for? Let's talk about that for a second. Who do you think it would be, or let me say it this way. Who will it benefit there being a longer break? Will it benefit the defense or will it benefit the state by the jury having extra time to deliberate? Because I thought about this and it seems like everyone's pretty torn on how this is going to affect them. In one way, they could hear and talk to family and be like, man, I know you've been covering or been on that YSL trial. It's crazy what they're doing. This is going on. This is going on. They could see a video. They could find this YouTube channel and get more of an insight into what's going on behind the scenes. On the other hand, depending on what the state says, it could benefit them if there's something that the state mentions or brings up that really sticks with the jury and they have more time to think about it. I don't know. It's
I'll get
tough.
back to you.
We are.
Go ahead.
I think it's tell me not to say anything.
Okay.
Matt?
Mr. Sharp.
This is my concern about Friday.
Okay.
State has their opening, closing on Friday.
Yes, Stephanie, I'm live now.
Myself and Mr. Weinstein close on Friday. Jury goes home for the weekend, come back Monday, and then all they hear.
It's like the only thing they hear is the
So I would
states.
like to-
There you go.
I would like, my proposal would be, I don't think everyone's gonna, I don't know this for a fact, I don't think everyone's gonna take as long as we think. I would ask if we could close on Monday, whatever we don't get done, I don't believe it would be much on Tuesday. And then we could give the jury instructions Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they could come back after the break to deliver. I just am very concerned about going for a weekend and then.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Because the other thing we can do is start the closings and have the state do their open close tomorrow afternoon. And then we finish with the closings on Friday. And then I instruct them on Monday. And they get the case on Monday.
I like the other idea better.
I-
You like the other idea better.
Which was
Just make a decision,
start
Judge Whitaker.
closings on Monday, finish them on Tuesday, which is a late start anyway of 11 at the earliest because of a medical appointment.
The defense benefits,
And
defense
then
benefits,
I may or
defense,
may not
neither.
have a
Just Chris.
chance to instruct
Defense,
them on Tuesday, but I
defense,
could instruct them on
state.
Wednesday. But then they have all of that, but then they don't actually start deliberating until they come back from Thanksgiving.
But they would have the written instructions.
It's true. They would have them in writing, Your Honor. It's not like they would forget them over the Thanksgiving break.
Or we could,
Yeah, I mean, that's,
or Your Honor could instruct them when we get back.
No one listens.
The defense.
They're not actually listening. I think they like it. I think people are more visual anyway. They're less likely to listen for 2 hours. The charge.
The state?
I don't understand what you're saying, because
When the court charges the jury, they're blank-faced. So that's why it's always so important to send it back like you suggest.
Leave Uncle alone, right street.
When anyone talks at you for more than 15 minutes, most people stop listening. So, not saying that they do. I know I do.
But it would seem to be in the state's interest to
We
not
just-
have a 5-hour closing, Your Honor.
We stop listening when a body speaks in general.
Yeah, I like your idea for tomorrow, Your Honor, but I don't think the state, I guess the state would not agree to that.
Kind of the only reason.
they don't have to agree to it. I've
I
told
do.
y'all for the last 2 weeks, be ready on Thursday to give closings.
True.
So if that's what I decide, that's what happens. When it comes down to it.
I'm just not looking to throw them under the bus, but I do like the idea for them starting tomorrow, and then we would wrap it all up Friday, or wrap up the closings Friday.
And you like that idea.
I do like that idea.
Well, only reason he likes that idea is because the jury charge won't be complete until tomorrow, and so he'll have all night to process and synthesize all the information that we'll continue to go over tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah, what's
Ponte is
the
not
problem
lying.
with that? Yeah, what's wrong with that?
It's my duty of candor. I have to tell you that
I appreciate that, Mr. Weinstein, that you take your duty of candor seriously.
very seriously. You're
All right, so closings Monday, maybe we finish Monday. If not, then we come in late on Tuesday and finish closings, and then maybe we'll just have to see. I charge them either Tuesday and they get the case.
Ooh, and it actually looks like
In which case, I
court
probably
might be
just
in.
won't-
We'll go there in a second.
I mean, are they going to deliberate for one day and then go to Thanksgiving?
I would say we could probably close and charge on Monday after Thanksgiving, and then they'll have.
Wait.
We can certainly not close and charge in
I'm
one
sorry,
day.
not close. I meant
You
to say
mean
charge.
Tuesday?
Charge
No,
On
but
Tuesday?
on Tuesday.
I think they should. If we charge them on Tuesday, I think they could begin deliberations immediately thereafter. Correct? I don't think
Depending
they-
on what time it is.
We have court Wednesday, correct?
I mean, we're scheduled to have court on Wednesday.
What are the hours?
Judge Whitaker does
No,
not want to
for
have
the whole
court.
day.
She got to travel.
Well, then that gives them a whole day to deliberate.
I had said, I had told Mr. Matthews we could quit at 2, but Mr. Matthews is no longer in this case. Have we told the jury that?
Just give them a day. That's all they need, Judge Whitaker.
I don't recall you telling the jury either way.
Wednesday.
We had that conversation at the bench.
Yeah, I don't think I ever did, honestly. So I think they think they're here all day Wednesday. And so they could be here all day Wednesday.
What if when you send your message about coming Monday, let them know that we're gonna have extended hours on Monday. We start at 8:30 and we'll go till 7, so all the closings get done Monday.
And just get all of the arguments. We could do that.
First thing Tuesday, do the charge.
Well, at 11 a.m. or whenever they're all here, do the charge, get it.
You could extend Tuesday to 7 o'clock. You're not getting it till 11. Or whatever time.
That's the state's suggestion, to keep them here till 7.
Will we have a hung jury? I don't know.
Make that clear.
I'm not staying here until 7 on 2 days, but. And then are you saying have them come deliberate on Wednesday and then take a long weekend and then,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay. All right. That's what we'll do.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. So I still think we all need to get together tomorrow. How about 10?
Oh,
So that is today.
Unanimous agreement on
All right.
and there was much rejoicing.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Is it substantive?
I mean, yeah. Yes, I think so. We're going to have to get back together on jury charges and yeah.
Hey, Your Honor, they woke up Mr. Kendrick at 2 a.m. this morning. I know you
God
don't have
dang.
control over
In
the
order
sheriff.
to get him here?
They moved him at 2 a.m. They woke him up at 2, moved him
Jeez.
to Rice Street for whatever reason, then brought him here because I don't
That's
know all
nasty.
the thinking behind it, but come on. Can they please not do that? Especially we have a 10 o'clock start tomorrow. Certainly they don't need to wake him up at 2 a.m. again
I mean,
tonight.
I agree.
That's messed up,
I'm
man.
not the elected sheriff.
I understand that. I
Doubt if the
understand.
elected sheriff knows that either, frankly, but
Yeah, so yeah, get him.
to my great and devoted deputies, can you all please get
They ain't
word to
great.
whomever is in charge of getting the defendants here to, if at all possible, not wake anybody at 2 a.m. to start transporting them for a 10 a.m. court hearing? Thank you. I really appreciate that.